the crap, Goth. My name is Pixie. Welcome to my channel of randomness where you never know what you're going to get. Today I am gardening in my pajamas and I'm going to show you guys this huge project that we're about to do. So if you like renovation programs, if you like gardening programs, if you like nature and you like a lot of swearing and shouting because I can't do anything right, stick with this channel. You're going to bloody love it. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Right, so out in the garden, it's still winter, so it's really cold and the ground's too hard to actually do any work. But as all gardens that have been accumulating stuff over time, it's got full of rubbish and old coops that are dilapidated and gone rotten, which we need to sort out. So at the moment, this is our rubbish pile. Everything that's going to be chucked and tipped and recycled is all going in there, which is an old well. Not an actual well, it's a decorative well. Obviously all the trees are bare, and this is our burning pile. So this is all the old chicken coops and bits of fences and things like that I've just knackered. All the bits from the ground that we clear is all going to go here. We will check it thoroughly to make sure there's no hedgehogs or anything alive in there. Please always do that before you have a bonfire, especially over like the hibernating season. So we will give it a prod and go through it and make sure everything's okay in there. So that is our burning pile. This is our recycle or keep pile. So there's a lot of scrap metal. That was an old children's play frame, obviously a chimney, which actually, to be fair, I think it was like third hand by the time I had it, and had it for years. It's broken now. So yeah, we're going to recycle a lot of this. We'll reuse the planters and stuff. We're going to reuse as much in the garden as we possibly can to save money. Okay, so now we're going through to KORI's bit of the garden. So all this is going to be replaced, and to be fair, what we're probably going to do is pallet fencing because it's the cheapest option. Stick some I can't remember the called now, kind of basically poles in the ground with postcrete in it, and then slot the fences on top of the poles because it's just an easy way of doing it, keeps the costs down, which is really good. So this is going to be going, it's a bit rickety, look, you can see it's all very bendy, and this is all, we're going to keep this, we'll just redo this, we'll revarnish it and grow stuff up it, I think. So this is KORI's caravan. Hasn't been in, haven't gone in it in a long time, to be fair. He used to spend a lot of time in here. So this is the arts and crafts caravan. Now the idea with this, I won't say plan because plans go to shit. The idea with this one is we want to build a decked area in the front of here with a couple of steps going up. This is going to be for Ostara to play in and her friends when they come over. We would like to do some kind of like trellising over the top of it so we can grow things up the caravan and over the top as well. The paint's flaking a little bit, which is a bit of a shame, but this is going to be a really nice play area for Ostara. We had a wonderful gardener coming out just before winter hit, and he actually started laying the foundation for the patio, which is going here. So we were gifted an amazing patio, which literally is circle upon circle upon circle. And the idea is we're going to take out the centre bit of the circle, and that is where KORI's olive tree is going to go, which was gifted by someone very special. So that's going to be like the focus point in here, which is brilliant. That shed over there, we're actually going to repurpose that and have that as the new chicken coop, because we're about to put up huge enclosures, and we're also going to adopt a lot of ex-battery hens because we want to rescue a lot of hens. So that's going to come down that end of the garden. It's going to go up onto stilts, and we're going to have it like with the ramps going up and everything. It's going to be a huge laying area for the chickens and great for storms and stuff, and we can lock them in at night time, keeps them away from foxes, which is great. So this is also our boundary at the back here. Now there is a housing development going to be starting very soon, which obviously we don't want to be a bar of, not good. So there's a chain link fence that runs all the way behind this fence here. So we're taking that fence out, taking our borders back to where we actually own it, and we're going to obviously block that off with probably bamboo screening and something like that to basically grow nice and tall. These trees are ours, so they can't take those down, luckily, which is great. Okay, so a lot of this stuff, again, it's going to be recycled. We're going to use these in KORI's greenhouse, which I will show you in a minute. So this here, this is a really beautiful building. It's leaning slightly, but this is actually a summer house that was gifted to KORI when he was in for transplant. So we've got somewhere to come out and sit away from the elements. And he did spend time in here. He loved it. I'll have to find some videos, actually. So what we're going to do here is we're just going to straighten up the building a bit because it's on the wonk slightly, and we're going to reuse this. And what we'd like to do eventually is insulate it all and make this into a guest house, so people who come over from America, which we do get people coming over, they can stay in this. And I'm just going to walk around very slowly because I'm getting spiked by bloody nettles. So this is all going to be insulated. There's going to be a bed in there and everything. We have a downstairs toilet and everything in the house, which is great, which is obviously at the other end so people can use the bathroom. But I thought people who want to come and stay, a bit like a mini Airbnb, would be really nice. They can be in KORI's eco garden. So we're going to do all this up. We're going to clad it again, I think, and then we're going to make it really beautiful. and span over to here, and these are my beehives. Now they are dormant at the moment because it's winter, so they don't really come out very much in the winter, and we have to cut back all of this, which has grown crazy. I don't even know what it is actually. Can anyone identify that? But yeah, so basically we're going to clear the apiary. We're having another hive which we're going to put there, and then the bees will be able to take off vertically, which is what they're supposed to do. But this has grown crazy fast. And coming down to here, so this is a beautiful planter that our wonderful gardener actually built for us, and it's all made out of stuff from here. So we've got a lot of rubble and all that kind of stuff. We get a lot of reclaimed stuff, keeping the cost down. And he custom built this, which is great. There's lots of succulents in there. These are fantastic, the dandelion leaves. We leave these because I have a tortoise and he eats them. So I'll pull that up in a little bit, take it to my tortoise called Nimbus. So this is really good for the bees. They can come out, they can like forage on there. This is KORI's greenhouse. This was also gifted to KORI ages ago. The glass isn't in it all the way. It is in the door, but it's not in the roof yet. But the panels are safe because of the winter storms. We didn't want to put it in. We do have a bit of a crack down there. We can't afford to replace the glass, so perspex all the way. I think we have got some sheets of perspex. KORI was also gifted a planter from somebody at B&Q locally, which was amazing. So that's also going to go in there, and I'm going to grow herbs and stuff, which is great. This bit here, this is a friggin' mess. So this is basically the mound of, this is where we put all the rubble. So the idea for this one is we actually had a gardener coming out to do it, and we're going to box it all in, and this is probably going to become either a gigantic decked area, which we don't think we're going to do now. I think what I want to do is cover it in topsoil and lots of succulents, and have it as a giant succulent garden, especially with the bees being there. It makes a lot more sense. I think it'd be awesome. Let me zoom out a little bit. Right, there we go. Hopefully you can still hear me okay, because I don't have a mic on. So there we go. So we've got a nice big area there, which is fantastic. And there, so that's the old workshop. Unfortunately, it got damaged in storms, so the roof's a bit damaged, but this is going to be Spanky's workshop, which is my husband, and he's going to do whatever blokes do in the workshop, God knows what, probably fall asleep in an armchair and play Xbox games, I should imagine. So yeah, I'll just walk backwards so you can see the size of this garden, because it's actually quite big, and not fall over. So there, so all this stuff there is basically the chicken coops. Let me just zoom back in, hang on. There we go. So this is where we've been storing the chicken coops for now, and everything that we need. So old tyres, fantastic for planters. We're going to stagger them, fill them with soil, and have lots and lots of things growing in them. They're fantastic. And we're not going to bother painting it all up, because look at this. With all of the moss and stuff, I think it looks really weathered and really cool. Okay, so obviously we've got, we need a couple more of these bins actually, to be fair, just to put the chicken waste in, get some compost on the go so we can start growing stuff. So yeah, so there's the frames of, that's only one of the coops. So we've actually got 3 gigantic chicken enclosures, and we're only going to be using 2 at the moment when we redo it. Basically, it's plenty big enough. So yeah, lots of things we're going to recycle and reuse there. What's that off? I don't even know what that's off. It's obviously chicken wide for some reason. No clue. Oh, I know what that is. That's the side of KORI's bed. So when KORI moved from, this is my son, for anyone who's new to the channel, it's my little boy KORI. He's sadly, we lost him a couple of years ago, but this was the side of his bed, and I didn't want to get rid of it, and he loved chickens, so we've actually brought this down here, and we're going to put lights up it and everything. That's what it's here for. Yeah, completely forgot about that, which is crazy. So yeah, so this is basically, this is going to be all the patioed area with the olive tree. We're going to have his bridges and things. Now KORI has been gifted a lot through YouTube, and it's incredible. When he passed away, bless him, is people sent plants and bushes and solar lights and little gnomes and all sorts. One of the things he was gifted was a bridge, and it's an ornamental bridge, but people have been sending rocks about this big, and they've been writing messages on it or pictures and things, and they send it to me through the PO box, which is linked up to all of the videos. And what we do is we yacht varnish them, and we're going to make a rock river of all your messages that go underneath KORI's bridge, and that's probably going to be about there. And then we're going to have a bench, we're going to have the huge big massive patio, which is going to be beautiful. And one thing I did think of doing, and now KORI was also gifted a rowboat, which he loved playing in, and the transplant team came over and the hospice team came over, and they played pirates in there because he was a pirate through and through. And initially I was going to mount the boat down that end of the garden, which I'm now not going to do. So I've decided to bring his boat, his big rowboat, full-size rowboat, up to the top here. So once that chicken coop's gone, the rowboat's going to be on there, and it's going to be in a bracket, so basically it's going to be standing upright. And I thought what would be nice was to get planters to put all the way around the outside of the boat, like rainbow planters with lots and lots of succulents. We're going to have a brass plaque made for KORI on there. We're going to have a sail pot on it. And then I thought people who come over can sit inside the boat and can write inside the wood, and then we'll varnish. Every time someone's write something, we'll varnish it again. So you guys can come over and you can make messages, or if you want to send brass plaques or anything like that you want me to screw to the boat or anything, we can do that for you guys. And then that can be a memorial boat for KORI that his sister can also come and sit and play in, and anyone who visits can come and sit in KORI's boat and write in it, or just be here. KORI spent a lot of time in this part of the garden before he passed away because he loved it. All the chickens were down here initially. When he got really sick, we actually moved them up that end of the garden because he wasn't able to any more walk, so we brought them up so he could see them, and that was temporary. So that, as you can see, is a mess. That is the end of the garden. I'm going to take you down there now. So this bit here we've got a lot of plans for, but it's a work in progress, and it's going to be a slow one because we're starting this garden mostly first to get the chicken coops up. So yes, it's a very, very big garden. I think it's about 115, 120 foot. Let me just pause it while I put the chair back in place to stop the dogs from going in that section. Okay, so big load of bamboo there also, which was gifted by our next door neighbours, and it's shot up. It's great. We want that to spread, so we're probably going to relocate this and dig it all up, which is going to be a pain in the arse, but we're going to take it down and put it along the back there, which just because then it can spread to its heart's content and create a shield for us, which is great. So yeah, so this is basically this end of the garden. Now, as you can see, it is a mess. And for all those negative Nancys out there who are like, oh my God, what are you showing this for? This is ridiculous. This is real life, folks. This is what it's like to live with a terminally ill child, going in hospital for up to 7 months at a time, several times. We've lived in hospital for years on and off. We've come out, we've hired people to do the garden, we've done it ourselves. It gets overgrown to the point of the weeds and the brambles, which are like this thick, being up to what, 6-7 feet in height. So we come out of hospital to massive growth because we've always had chickens, ducks, geese, and they've roamed the land, but always for years. So you can imagine the ground is super fertile, so everything grows really fast. So imagine spending a whole summer on the garden to make it lovely and beautiful, to come out of hospital with a very, very, very sick child after 2 heart transplants, to find 7-foot high brambles and you have to hack your way through. But then we can't be outside because we need to look after him, and basically it's got away with us. It has been years in the making, and I want to do him justice. So everything has now been pulled to one side, and yes, it looks like a shit tip because it is a shit tip, but it isn't going to be. And you guys can follow this journey and see we have I have time because I can't leave the house very much on my own because of my anxiety and my mental health. So you're going to see this rubble and all the wood and all the crap that's ever in the garden, and show you that it can be done. And I'm not going to do it all in a week. I'm not going to do this big super massive renovation. It's going to be dead good and brilliant and shiny using expensive shit. It's not going to happen. This is all going to be reused bricks and reused wood and anything we can get for free, or free cycle, and tyres as planters and everything. This is going to be a working eco garden on a fucking shoestring budget, and it's going to look amazing. But it isn't going to be a fast process. It's going to take frigging months, and I'm going to do it literally section by section like a jigsaw puzzle. So the first port of call is literally this here, this big rubbish well here, which is what we're keeping everything in until it goes to the tip. We're going to put that big shed you saw on top of here, and we're going to have a ramp going up, so that's going to keep the chickens off of the ground. It keeps the rats out. And basically we're going, because obviously we've got woodland near us as well, so we're going to have the coop is going to be built up here. The big enclosure is going to be built all the way across there. It's going to be huge. They're going to have a lot of space to roam and dig and scrat. And also a lot of these chickens which we're going to rescue also come when they've never seen sunshine, they've never had the chance to spread their wings and bathe in the sun, or even scrat on the ground, because they're ex-battery hens. Their beaks are trimmed, they have no feathers. Getting these chickens and seeing them come to life is beautiful, you know, when they start to trust you. So basically that's where that's going. And then this bit here is just stuff. So obviously we've got the house at the back there, and so yeah, this is one of my girls. She's in temporary accommodations. She's only one of them because all the rest of them passed away because they're quite old. So this is my girl here. Say hello, Omelette. So this is Omelette. Hi. So yeah, at the moment she's in this coop on her own. She was with other chickens, but unfortunately we had a big storm and they passed away. So she's managed to knock the top off her feed already. So she's got a water thing in there. Now let me just see if I can open so you can see how I look at her. Okay, so this is Omelette. Say hi. And she's in here on her own because she's a very old girl, and yeah, so all of her buddies died unfortunately in this big storm. So she's got her water there, she's got her little chicken food there, which is the latest pellets, and she's chilling out. So this looks tiny here, doesn't it? But it's actually not. It goes all the way under there, which is like, that's where she has all the treats in there. She's got a little ladder, and then in here she's got all her hay, and she's got a nice big area, like a big nesting area in there as well. So she's got all this to herself. Oh, she's left me a feather. Thank you very much. There we go. I'll save these feathers and I make them into like dream catchers and stuff. But there we go. She's coming into her bed to say hello. Hi, Omelette. Are you alright, darling? So she's been sent toys and all sorts for her new coop, and you're gonna have a lot of new buddies, aren't you, soon? But at the moment, she's got a lot of space. She's all right. She's a good girl. She sometimes pecks me. I don't know if she'll let me touch her. Baby. Yeah, she's a good girl. She's got lots of space. So you can have some friends, aren't you? So that's her. Okay, so she is going to be moved into a beautiful, big, massive palace soon, and we're going to adopt hopefully over spring. So that's her. Chickens are awesome. Okay, so another thing is we lost all of our decking in a storm. It literally got pulled down in the winds. It was really bad. This is the children's play area, and also you see all those plants there? They're all gifted from you guys for KORI's garden. There's his planter, which we've kept wrapped up over winter. There's his big olive tree, which is beautiful. That's going to be planted. Yeah, all these are plants and stuff. So yeah, unfortunately all this has come down. It's been ripped down in the winds and it's just wobbly. You can't, it's getting rotten and it's completely wobbly. So what I'm going to do with this is pull all this down and make a dog garden to stop the dogs from running out here while we're having all the work done. So yeah, lots and lots of stuff to do. And it's a big garden. There's a lot to do. So there we go. Right, we're back with another update when I start working on it. Hey, so back in from the cold now, and obviously like my face has gone flush because it's frigging freezing outside. So basically, I'm not wobbling the camera around, sorry, but basically this is going to be gardening with a goth, and this is going to be a series of videos which is going to run over several months. This is going to be a long process, so you guys stick with us. My husband's going to be joining me on some things. We're going to be obviously building stuff, and when we do that, we'll speed up the film and put some stupid music to it, and there's going to be a lot of banter, probably a lot of swearing. I am not the most patient of people in the world, and if I can't build something, the air is blue, and I am literally like, fuck's sake, can't do this, and I have these things where I need to get it done now. Like, I'm really impatient and I want it done. I'm not a perfectionist, so my husband is and I'm not, and then we kind of clash on that because I'm one of these, want to garden, I don't want it fucking conformist, I don't want neat and tidy edges and straight paths and stuff. I want it to be higgledy-piggledy and like lavender springing out from one side and freaking bamboo from the other. I don't want anything that's neat and tidy and perfect. I want it to be an eco garden, and they're scruffy and they're smelly and they know the like chicken poo and stuff, and they're fragrant, and I want like sensory garden stuff, and it's going to look pretty, and that's the important thing. This garden's going to work for us. We don't want to conform to anybody. I know it's going to be a bit of a hippie garden, eco garden and everything else. But yeah, if you guys want to stick with us and see what we're going to be doing, we're going to have a proper tripod set up. We're going to be wearing microphones so you can hear what we're saying. We're going to show you guys all the bits that we do, and it's literally going to be months in the making. So yeah, feel free to comment below with suggestions that we can do. If you guys have got any upcycling ideas, things that cost sod all money, then that'd be fantastic. Stick with us. We're going to show you bits, you know, obviously, which we do on a budget, because we're not like some people where they do the garden renovations and they work bloody hard and they do well, but they've got, they've got money to hire plant machinery to dig. We're going to do all this shit ourselves. And my husband and I are both out of shape, overweight, and like he said, he's a potato and I'm a lazy goth. Like, I'm not very good at being outside. Also, with really bad mental health, I can't often leave the house. So I think I need this garden. I need to be able to get fresh air and sunshine, because I've been in the house consecutively, probably the longest time was about 7 weeks when I've a lot left. So yeah, having this is going to be cool. But yeah, if you want to see swearing and if you want to see non-conformist bullshit and just random stuff that we're upcycling like wellies as planters and shit like that, stick with us. This is going to be probably a fun but hard work garden thing, and you're going to see everything that you guys have sent in through the PO box and the Amazon wish list and things for KORI. You guys are going to see this out in the garden, your things. So please feel free to comment down below if you see anything that you've bought, you've sent, you're like, I did that, I sent that. Let me know down in the comments. It'd be fantastic. So yeah, stick with us. See you all soon. Don't forget to like and subscribe and tick that bell icon so you know every time a new video is uploaded, so you guys know when we're doing more stuff. It's awesome. Right, I'm gonna go and get this video uploaded today, and then yes, keep your tabs open, keep your eyes peeled and all that kind of stuff, because we are coming back. Right, see you later.